Hey everybody, I'm here with Kevin. He made top four and went undefeated, and then they split the prizes at the very end. So, Kevin, what were you playing today?
I was playing Prank Kids Brave Tokens.
All
Or
right,
Adventure
PK,
Tokens.
PK Adventures. All
Not
right,
PK. Well, I guess it is PK, huh?
let's get into it.
Alright, so I'm gonna knock out the shoutouts first. So, shout out to Game Haus TCG.
Hello.
Great tournament. Hector and Will, you guys did a good job. And then shout outs to Jonathan Bosworth for creating awesome Field Centers tokens.
Dopeness. All right.
Shout out to Chonky Chew. And then, yeah, also shout out to Cesar. He let me borrow all the Prank Kid cards, so I wouldn't be playing this deck without his cards.
All right, awesome.
Thanks, Cesar. Good shit. Shout out to the Tucson community. They're the ones who made this tournament possible, and they're awesome people. So,
Dope. Well, we appreciate you too, Kevin.
all right, so let's get to the profile. So I'll start with the starters. So you got place terraforming. For all intents and purposes, this is another place. Don't need to explain that. Play 3 wind, 3 fire, 3 water, 1 rock.
Okay.
I only played 1 rock because I really don't want to fucking see it.
Gotcha. Why's that?
It's just, this is one of those cards that don't go in a Battle Butler during my opponent's turn. So the draw one is a nice effect, so I always try to get to it. But it's just not something that I want to open.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, another note, this is a 42 card deck. If I was playing any more, I'd probably add another Roxy's.
Okay.
But that's like one of the pranks that I can live without. And then play 1 pranks and 2 pandemoniums as kind of like an engine requirement for the deck. Then you have the Brave token package, so you got the 3 rights. Opening this plus a prank, it's basically GG's. I go +7 on 1 turn.
Okay.
I play 3 Aquamancers to get to the right and 1 Foolish, so basically 4 copies of Aquamancer. These get me to the rights. 1 Fateful Adventure, 1 Dracoback,
Let's see this one real quick. Just
1 Griffin.
Yeah.
So Dracoback is just so good. For a minute, I contemplated not playing it, but like you have to play it.
Okay.
Reason being, it helps you chain block with Fateful Adventure. So one problem with Prank Kids is it dies so easily to Ash. So if I open the Adventure token engine, I get to this, I normal summon a Prank Kid, then I go into Meow, and I do Chainlink 1 Prank Kid, Chainlink 2 Adventure. So I chain block Ash, and then it gets me to Griffin before the 5th summon.
Okay.
So, pretty important. Next, big reason why I played this deck was all the going second cards that I could fit. So 3 Ash, this is just your generic hand trap. It's pretty good, especially when a format's just formulating. There's a lot of instances where you could just negate the special summon from a monster from a deck, or I know Eldritch and Trap decks are going to be pretty popular, so this trades well with Pot of Extravagance.
Okay.
3 Nibs. You have to respect the combo decks. I know it's a new format, but there's a bunch of PK, pranks, all that stuff running around. In fact, I played against 3 PK decks in a row, so it was just nice to have. 3 Imperm. Awesome card again. I just like the utility of being able to activate it during my turn as well as a 6th card. It came up once when someone tried to Scythe Lock me. I opened Imperm and Droplet, so it was pretty nice.
Yeah, awesome.
2 Ogre. I was just testing this out. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. It didn't really come up today. If I wanted to make this deck like 40 cards even, these are probably the cards that I would remove.
Okay.
But the reasoning behind me playing these cards is to stop the Adventure token stuff.
Also for the mirror match?
I mean, it's not just a mirror that plays Adventure token. Venom Knights play it as well.
Copy.
And then if you go up against like a newbie Venom Knight player, they don't set for Cherubini. So you can activate this on Cherubini and it just removes the body. So that was also a pretty useful utility for it. 3 Droplet, you have to play that. especially with Scythelock running around. You
3
must play
ultras,
Droplet.
ultimates. Nice. Spicy spice.
Called by is also another, like, it's great because it serves as a defensive card, and it can also, like, you could chain it onto Scythelock. So, like, they try to summon Scythe from the graveyard, you just call by it. And it also comes up with DP. I never drew it, unfortunately, but you play Call by because it's a very good card. And then last but not least, Thunder Dragon Fusion.
Okay. So why Thunder Dragon Fusion?
So this let me make Verte plays. So like, if for some reason like I was like in a complicated game state, or if I was like trying to go for game, I would just take 2 monsters, make Verte, send Fusion, shuffle back my Prank Kid monsters, and summon Battle Butler. So it was nice. You don't really want to open this card, but like,
It's not too much of a break if you do.
yeah. Well, you don't want to see it ever. And then the follow-up with this card is awesome because you could banish it and search Fancies to next turn. So it gets you to a Prank Kid.
Awesome.
So that's the main 42 cards. If you want to cut it to 40, I would cut the Ogres. And I'll go into extra deck. So Meow Mew, the most important card. This card gets you started. I never used the effect to banish itself to instead of tributing my Battle Butler because I always recycled it with pranks.
Okay.
Because this is at 1 now, you want to have that follow-up available. I played 2 Doodle, 2 Bow Wow.
I do have a comments now.
Don't really need to explain this. Like, this gets you to pranks. This lets you add back 2 Prank Kid monsters to make Battle Butler on your opponent's turn. 2 Butler. This didn't really come up. I only ever used 1, but this seemed pretty standard. I don't know if I would move away from this. I haven't tested enough with it, but 2 Butlers.
Fair enough.
Weather Washer. So if I didn't need to make Battle Butler during my opponent's turn, I made Weather Washer. And if I made Weather Washer, it was generally game. So what I do is I tribute it, summon back Doodle, Bow Wow, and then on my opponent's next turn, I'd usually be able to make Nightmare Unicorn access code and kill them. So
Okay.
so if I made this, it was pretty much game. Rocket Ride. There was one instant where I had a Rocket Ride. Someone dropletted me, and I needed to get some effects off. I think it was Doodle's effect. So I chained Pandemonium and made Rocket Ride, but other than that, it never really came up. Link Spider. So this is part of the Verte package. So if I was like in an awkward spot with a token, I would just make Link Spider, turn that plus a prank into Verte, and then send Thunder Dragon Fusion to make Battle Butler. Toad. This usually only came up during like my follow-up turns, where I'd have 2 Dropsies, I'd overlay them, make Toad. It's a good Omni negate when I'm going for game. Rip Roaring Roaster. This never came up. And Unicorn Access.
Okay. So did you have a side deck today or no?
Of course, I had a side deck.
Awesome.
So 3 Drolls. Never sided it in. Again, I went through the Venom Knight Gauntlet, so didn't need to side this. 2 Lancia. This was glued to my hand against my Venom Knight matches, that's why I won. Pink. This was for like the more rogue matchups. Never came up. Feather Duster. 2 Cosmics, that's my back row removal. These came in against PK, of course, but I think I only saw it once. It was nice, it traded with Fogblade pretty nicely. And then for going first, I had 3 Designator, 3 Judgment.
Oof.
I never
That's
saw
nice.
any of these cards, but my reasoning for Designator was, I wanted to maximize the chances that I didn't get stopped with Ash, because I'm not always going to open to Brave Engine.
Okay.
So, especially going in post-sighting, I'm not trying to risk much, so I kept Designator in. Triple Judgment.
And then Hornets is that
One thing that I found is I'm going to lose super hard to evenly, especially if I open like the Brave Token Engine plus the pranks, because of the fact that I have a token. So if they're able to just out my Griffin, then I have nothing to stop me from it evenly. So this is just like one more defensive measure. Obviously, if they have it, they have it, but it never
Gotcha.
came up.
So, what would you say is was one of your toughest matchups tonight throughout the whole tournament?
I think my toughest matchup, I breezed through my PK matches pretty easily, but like, I'm not gonna lie. Game 1, I went against Ancient Warriors, and Game 1, like, I only opened the Adventurer engine and nothing else, and this dude was fucking beating me down with Ancient Warriors, and I was like, this is how my tournament's gonna go. Like, it's gonna suck. But I mean, obviously, Game 2 and 3, I bounced back.
Gotcha.
Poor Soul, he opened like Dasher Celestial in one of his games, but that's just how it be. That's what happens when you run the DPE engine.
Gotcha. And what would you say is one of your best matchups with the deck?
I mean, I played PK like 3 times, so it's like it was the same shit over and over again.
Gotcha.
I just, one of the main reasons why I played this deck was the fact that I could fit so many going second cards. And then I'd still have the Brave engine and the Prankins engine. So it's like the Prankins engine is a 1-card starter. Like, you build your full board with that. And then if I have the Brave engine and the PK engine, the Prankins engine, then I go +7 on turn 1. So just being able to smother my opponent with card advantage, have hand traps, and have a walking Raigeki is amazing. So that was one of the main reasons why I played. And like I felt like a lot of the PK matchups, I opened like 2 or 3 hand traps away to the Brave Token engine and the Prankin engine. So it was just broken.
Oh, awesome. Well, congratulations on your wins tonight. Thank you for playing, and of course, you are one of the, I'm assuming, founders, correct, of Game Haus TCG, along with Will.
I mean, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, there you go. So, this tournament is part of you as well. So, congratulations again, and thank you so much for what you do for the Yugi community.
Awesome.
All right, man. Thank you.
Yep.